In this section, we'll try and answer your questions about what it's like to go to Download Festival, things we recommend and things to avoid. This time, hotels. Now, camping isn't for everyone. I know plenty of people who won't go to festivals because camping scares them. Now, they wouldn't say that. They say they want the comfort of a hotel, which is understandable. But camping can be daunting, especially in the notorious Download weather. Or if you're fine with camping but you want to be in first when the Download doors open to get your best spot in the campsite, staying at a hotel nearby makes that a whole lot easier. So what are our options? We have many to choose from.
You do. You've got B&Bs and hotels, obviously, and that are, again, either in Castle Donington itself, or there's a couple of villages east and west of the Download camp, obviously the Download itself, and then you've got hotels by the airport.
Yeah.
So the hotels that are by the airport, they're the hotels I call old reliable. What I mean by that, it's your Travelodge, your Premier Inn, your Holiday Inn Express. You know what you're getting with them.
Yeah.
When you stay at them,
Just a basic stay.
That's it.
And a breakfast.
They are, or they can be value for money on that Tuesday night, I believe. But as time goes on, getting closer and closer to the festival, prices do start racking up.
And this is the case with any hotel. Having worked in a hotel, the closer and busier a hotel is expected to be, and the closer to the time of an event happening, the prices are jacked right up. Because it's like anything, if something is in demand, people are going to charge more for it. And if something is in low demand, you're going to get it dirt cheap. So if you book something way in advance, then you're going to get it dirt cheap, hopefully. But if you leave it till the last minute, odds are you won't get a room because it's booked up, or you'll be paying sky-high prices. That goes for all these.
So the hotels that are closest to the airport, you've got, as I've mentioned, the Holiday Inn Express, Travelodge and Premier Inn. You've also got the Jury's Inn and also the Hilton, which we have experience in, don't we?
Yeah, and it's only a taxi ride to Donington because basically it's at the airport, which is the next door neighbour of Donington, the racetrack. So you can either choose to walk up, which I wouldn't recommend because it is, these are big places, the airport and the racetrack. They're huge. So, it could take you quite a while to walk, and it would be quite an unpleasant walk with all your shit, especially if it's raining. So very cheap taxi ride, or I believe there are shuttles as well.
The shuttle bus service, that will drop you directly on the door of the campsites. So if you do stay in one of these hotels on the Tuesday night, taxis and shuttle bus will literally drop you at the doorway of the campsites.
Which is what you want. You don't want to be messing, do you?
You can't be asked trouncing all your crap from the car parks of camp. It's a ball ache, to say the least.
And even if you've gone by car, obviously you've got the option of just driving from the hotel to the car park.
Of course.
Which is what we do.
We mentioned the shuttle bus there, which brings me on to another point. There is a festival transfer buses service from Derby train station. So if you do end up wanting to stay in Derby in the city instead of obviously staying closer to the festival, there is a every half hour there is a bus transfer which takes you into, again, on the doorstep of either the campsite or the doorstep of the arena.
Wow!
So there's that for your FYI.
Yeah, and we tend to stay in hotels every year. I think we have done every year since
2017.
17.
Yeah. So our experiences, we've stayed in the Holiday Inn twice and the Hilton once, and then we're going a little bit different in 2022. We're going a little bit posher, aren't we?
Yeah, but it wasn't by design. It was more just because that's what was available and cheap.
No.
Oh, did you go for that? Because you found this place, didn't you? Did you want doilies and net curtains?
So I found the Priest House Hotel, which, when I say it's a stone's throw from the festival, this hotel, B&B, whatever you want to call it, is literally right behind what is usually Yellow Camp. So we're literally going to be on the doorstep of Download. We're gonna have to drive around to get to the get to RIP, but I mean, it's still cool that we may potentially be able to see the festival from the hotel the day before we get round there. That's just So that one is just north of the festival, and you can find it's just outside Castle. It's just inside Castle Donington, so it's easy to find. But this one,
the price range of these, I think we're talking sort of £100 or less per night, aren't we? Really, and if you're sharing it with somebody else, you can split the cost, of course, and it makes it very economical to do.
For the Tuesday night, 100%. I couldn't recommend it more to make life a little bit easier getting into the festival on the Tuesday morning, and not 12 o'clock like it says, and it recommends that you should wait until 12 o'clock for the doors to open, because they don't open at 12. They open about 9 o'clock half the time. So to be able to roll out of your hotel into the queue and then onto the campsite, it does make things a lot easier and a lot less stressful.
And like our experience at the Pilot, if you arrive at Download and the campsites have already been populated, and looking for a spot to set up is horrendous, because you can be walking for hours. So if you get there and the campsites are mostly empty, it's such a nicer experience, because once it's first thing in the morning, you're set up, you're ready, and you can start drinking. And, the earlier the better, as far as I'm concerned, because no one likes queuing. No one wants to have to walk around with all the shit for hours on end thinking, shit, I don't think we're going to find anywhere. It's just not a nice experience. So if you get there early, which is what we love doing for the most part, get there early and get set up and you're ready for the day and the rest of the festival. It's just a nice way to begin rather than getting stressy, because no one wants to begin a festival all stressed out. So, get a nice night's sleep on the Tuesday, Tuesday night into the Wednesday morning. Have a breakfast, and roll up to Download, nice and relaxed. There's nothing like it, and I don't think that many people do it.
It doesn't seem like that many people, or at least it doesn't seem that. Again, whenever we go into Castle Donington, we go to the Castle Inn to have a few drinks,
and then get asked to leave.
That only happened once. We didn't get asked. I'm sure we didn't get asked to leave last time we were there.
I always drink so much there, I can't remember.
Yes, that's the problem, isn't it? So that's a good thing that you document everything, like obviously with your videos and that, just in case we do. There are those times we do forget. But yeah, I mean, we got asked to leave in 2017. It was me, you, and it was just three of us, and we got asked to leave because I think
was there not four of us?
No, four of us. It was 2018.
Oh right, okay. See, I've got no memory of this.
Yeah, and 2019. It was just the two of us left standing by the end of the night, and we got a taxi back to the hotel. And then I waited till about 1 o'clock for Dave to arrive.
Oh, you did, didn't you? That was nice of you. Pissed to sleep on the sofa.
Knackered.
So yeah, it is nice. It's also a nice way if you're meeting people, if you all meet at the hotel so that you're all together before you go in. That's nice as well because with the thousands of people who are arriving at the same time when you just turn up and down, where are you camped and this, that, and the other. If you all go in together, then it's just a nice, much more organised way of doing it.
The atmosphere in Castle Donington as well is a really good buzz in that afternoon.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're getting everyone obviously arriving and everyone's excited to go to Download. Everyone's going to start having a few chilled out pints for the afternoon. And there is a really good buzz about it. The Castle Inn has like a massive heavy metal playlist for when we all arrive. Which
and it's full of downloaders as well, which creates a great atmosphere.
Yeah. On the subject, obviously, the Castle Inn, Castle Donington, there is a few places you can stay there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Off the top of my head, you've got Donington Manor, which I believe is opposite the Castle Inn pub. You've got Donington Cottage Guest House, Castle Town House, which is a B&B, Hambleton House, and I can't read my own fucking writing. So I'm going to ignore that one. There's also The Keep, which is located in Castle Donington as well.
And where are you finding these? Are they on booking.com or something, or hotels.com?
I typed in booking. I typed places to stay in Castle Donington
Okay.
on Booking.com, and a big old list came up.
Okay, fine. So they're not difficult to find. And like anything, book sooner rather than later. Don't leave it, because there's only so many rooms in Castle Donington, because it isn't a big place. It's only a small place, isn't it, really? So there's only so many B&Bs and hotels and stuff. So if you are planning on doing this, do it sooner. Do it now!
Yeah. To be fair, should have done it 2 years ago when they first announced the festival.
Yeah, I mean, we've had our booking at the Priest House Hotel for...
About 2 years.
I mean, didn't we book it in... We booked it for 2020?
Originally, I had
booking for
booked us-
22 years.
I had originally booked us into Pleasant House B&B in Kegworth, which is found on the east side of the M1. And we ended up cancelling that once download was cancelled for the first time, and then we booked into the Priest House, and I've had the Priest House booking for at least a year and a half, if not 2 years now. But mentioning Kegworth, there's a few hotels there. It's a little bit further away. It won't, again, the taxi ride to download only be about 10-15 minutes at the most. But that's, again, a village nearby that has plenty of options for hotels.
Because obviously, it's nice to stay in Castle Donington because you're very close to the racing circuit and download. But if you've left it late, or perhaps if you want to save a bit of money, then it is cheaper to stay in Kegworth or any of the surrounding other villages that are there.
Yeah, there's a few also in Melbourne, which is on the west side of download itself. There's plenty of places around. Booking.com, Hotel.com, whatever it's called. They're your best friends. The best piece of advice that we can give is just book early.
Yeah, definitely. You can't really beat that convenience because, getting there late. The only thing that I can point you to is our download pilot video where we get there. I don't know what happened actually, because we didn't stay there overnight beforehand, did we? Because it was started on the Friday.
Yeah, so that was my fault. I'll hold my hands up to that. I unfortunately had work and couldn't get out of it on the Friday and on the Thursday.
It was very last minute though, wasn't it?
Actually, I think I left at about 11 o'clock, and then must have arrived at the services about 1ish. We didn't get in till about 2, and all the decent spots had been saved or taken. So
there was literally nowhere to camp by the time we got there that was legitimate. You could by the time we got there, we could only camp in the emergency walkways, which they told us to. They told us to camp there, and you don't want to be in a situation like that. So get there nice and early is what we recommend. Get a hotel nearby. Give a bit of money to the local economy and help those B&B and hotel owners as well, because they put up with us.
Putting up with us is definitely the phrase for it, especially in 2017.
Oh God, yeah. And there are some very nice restaurants and pubs and bars and all sorts in Castle Donington that we've been to. We tend to go and have something to eat in Donington. I wish I could tell you. The name of these places, but unfortunately, because by that point I've usually drunk a few, I couldn't tell you what they are, unless you remember.
I only remember because it's the one that we always go to. It's the Castle Inn, and they have a really good selection of pizzas in their own little wood burner. So I'd highly recommend popping into there your night before download if you're staying in the area.
Yeah, and there's another one that's a little bit further up the road that's more like a sort of pub restaurant type place, and they don't like swearing, we discovered.
We did find out they do not like swearing. I'm just about to try and find out actually what that's called.
Yeah, we did have some very nice food in there. In fact, we went there a couple of times over the years, and it's a lovely place, lovely pints, really good, decent prices. But and it's I guess you would say it's like a family type place, but then with it being in Donington, which is next to a racing circuit, which is for sweary blokes who have had a few, they were quite low tolerance on the swearing. annoying.
Well, I mean, were they, or were we just that loud?
Now, I had had a few drinks by this point, so maybe my view of this is a bit skewed. But you could be right there.
The name of said place is the Apiary, which is just on the. It's on one of the corners. I mean, I'm just briefly looking at it now. There is loads of places to eat. The Apiary does a decent burger, and that's coming from someone who doesn't eat meat anymore.
Oh you're vegan now, aren't you?
Yeah, and the Castle Inn, which is where we go every single time we're there. So those two would be my recommendation for food the night before.
Yeah. It's definitely, it just makes it a lot nicer. It makes it a lot relaxing because we always catch up the night before and have a night of it, and it's nice. There's such a lovely atmosphere in Donington, Castle Donington. It's a really nice place. It's only small, but it's a really nice place to stay the night before. Now, if you have booked and you're going to be staying the night in Castle Donington or in Melbourne perhaps or in Kegworth, it's nice to get there and just get prepared for the week that's to come. Because if you arrive there and you're not prepared, or if you arrive there with all your stuff in your car, you feel like you haven't had a chance to sort of settle down. I know it's like an old man thing to say, but it's nice just to have that little bit of time and space just to get mentally ready and just have a little bit of a nice night before a week of hectic camping.
No, do you know what? I totally agree. I think the hotel thing became a thing, even for me and my wife when we do Bloodstock. It became a thing in 2017, purely because it just makes the travelling to the festival on the day so much more bearable.
Because the travelling itself can be quite stressful, can't it?
If you travel up on the day of the festival, if you're coming in from the south on the M1 or even coming from the north on the M1, you are going to hit traffic on that slip road, and sometimes it can take hours. Yeah. So, yeah, to avoid hours of traffic and sitting in potentially maybe 20 minutes, half an hour of it instead, coming from your hotel, it does make a difference. Because, I think 2019, the traffic was quite bad trying to get in when we last went. And getting into the queue, obviously it was pissing with rain anyway. I think everyone was just a bit like, oh, this is going to be a ball ache.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you know, I always forget the traffic, but it's true. You can be sat there for what seems like hours, not really moving. So, yeah, that's definitely worth it because nobody likes to sit in traffic. So, yeah, that's our little guide. That's our recommendations. If you've got any questions, you can ask us or give us your own viewpoint on staying the night before going into download by sending us a message on social media. Tell us your do's and don'ts. Tell us something we've missed, places that you recommend, or just give us your opinion. Just search for FestPod on the socials.